What was the weirdest rule you had to follow in school? When I was in high school, the phrase epic fail was a thing. One of my teachers became sick of it and banned it. It was quickly replaced with catastrophic error. Way back in elementary school, we weren't allowed to walk around the school in groups larger than 3 because it intimidated the primary grades. Like ducking what? They didn't allow the boys to have doors on the bathroom stalls in high school. They let teachers use those bathrooms. Nothing like working in on your 300 pounds history teacher dropping a deuce. When I was in elementary school, we had a rule that kids were strictly not allowed to touch rocks. No rocks. Not pebbles, not big rocks, no rocks. I got put in timeout a few times for touching rocks. The problem was, our playground was built on a pebble pit. If you fell or wanted to sit on the ground to play, you could very well be singled out and punished for touching rocks. It was a huge tattle fest too. Kids would catch others touching the rocks and run to tell the PE coaches, who would immediately interrogate you. Did you touch rocks? Tell me the truth. I found a really cool rock in first grade and decided to show it to my coach. I told her it looked like an alligator's skull. She smiled at me, took the rock, and chucked it as far as she could, then bitterly told me, "Don't touch rocks." If you kept touching rocks, you'd be made to walk around the playground in circles sometimes until you had sufficiently learned your lesson. I once walked in circles with a few other kids until playground time was over. It felt like forever, but it was probably like 15 minutes. Too long. Didn't read. My school had a "don't touch any rocks" rule. My school dates back to the 13th century, so we had some archaic rules still floating around. My personal favorite was that the head boy gained the right to grow facial hair and graze his sheep on the headmaster's lawn. No band shirts at my Christian school. But the only ones that would be recognized were Christian bands. So you could get away with almost anything else. Red Hot Chili Peppers, eh? That into cooking? In middle school, we weren't allowed to clap during assemblies because the vice principal thought it was too disruptive. We could only do jazz hands. I had severe kidney problems when I was in secondary school. The rule was that when we were in the yard, you couldn't leave the yard until break lunch was over. Like they literally locked the gates to stop you from leaving once in the yard. I had multiple arguments with teachers for not letting me go to the toilet. Then getting bitched at in classes for asking to go or being late. There was silent time in the lunchroom in Catholic elementary school at the beginning of lunch, ostensibly for prayers grace. I remember sneezing due to allergies and having to miss recess. Never forgave those ducking nuns. No same-sex hugging, really weird rule. Apparently some kid got sick, and their parent blamed same-sex hugging. Couldn't dance, show our shoulders, or play games on school campus. School dances were sit-down meals instead, as we were not allowed to dance. God is against dancing apparently. No running in the schoolyard or playground during recess or lunch. How the duck do you expect to stop 500 children from running while they're out there playing? Some teachers insisting that the bell does not mean you are dismissed. Bitch please, that's exactly what it means. Our high school got a wild hair up their collective as that we were spending too much time in the bathrooms. So they tried to set up a bathroom schedule where you could only use them during certain hours of the day without a pass. And to get a pass you had to convince a member of the staff that you really had to go. They had staff members guarding the bathrooms to make sure you had a pass to use the bathroom. It wasn't until a combination of classroom walkouts, bathroom sit-ins, citations of laws, parent complaints, and several insinuations that the rule was somehow racist that they gave in and rescinded the rule. In secondary school, high school, we were forced to leave the school in full uniform at the end of the school. Meaning no jackets unless you were out of the main gates, which are very far outdoors, so if it was raining you were ducked. Thank God that rule only lasted 2 weeks. We had a hallway only for 6th graders in middle school. It was really strange because it was in the middle of the entire school, but if any teachers found you there, you were sent to the principal's office. We had one-way hallways 1 year in junior high because it was overcrowded and they thought it might make movement between classes more efficient. They hid teachers in the hallways between every class to make sure you didn't go the wrong way, even if your locker was like 10 feet the other direction. Super inconvenient. The Nike brand shoes. I grew up in a bad area of Chicago that is now going through the third wave of gentrification. Apparently gangs at the time identified with Nike shoes. If you had on Nike shoes, the teachers would put masking tape over the Nike logo. Because of gang affiliations, we were banned from wearing 3 items of red or blue. Things got a bit hairy on school spirit days, where they encouraged us to wear our school colors red, white and blue.